Hello there, this is MM087 of the Maths Methods Sharpened Study Guide. We've got an equation, Solve the equation 9 to the power of x, take 5 times 3 to the power of x equals 6. Now if you haven't seen a question like this before, I would definitely practice these. These always come up on exams and SACs as well. It's a very common question to be asked. So, the first step here is to try and create a different sort of equation, and you'll see what I mean by that in a second. So let's rewrite the equation. We've got 9 to the power of x, take 5 times 3 to the power of x equals 6. And the important thing to note here is that this is rearrangeable into some sort of a quadratic by substitution. What I mean by that is this. So 9 is equal to 3 squared. Which really helps us. So that means that this is equal to 3 to the power of 2x, which means that it's equal to 3 to the power of x to the power of 2. Same thing here. Because with our index laws, all this becomes is 3 to the power of 2x, and it doesn't matter what order that goes in. So now that we've got a 3 to the power of x here, 3 to the power of x here, and just a constant on this side, what we can actually do is let 3 to the power of x equal a. And what that lets us do is write the equation like this. And if we get everything on both sides, we get a squared take 5a take away 6 equals 0, which means that a minus 6 times a minus 1 is equal to 0. Sorry, a plus 1. From there, we actually get a minus 6 equals 0 and a plus 1 equals 0 because of our null factor law. Which means that a equals 6 and a equals negative 1. Awesome. However, that is not our final answer. What we then do is we substitute 3 to the power of x back in for a, which means we get 3 to the power of x equals 6 and 3 to the power of x equals negative 1. So because you cannot get a negative number out of an exponential, this is not a possible answer because it does not exist. Therefore, we carry on with this, which means that log 3 of 6 is equal to x, and that's our final answer. X equals log 3 of 6. So this is a 3-mark question. A question exactly like this was on a VCAR exam and they gave 3 marks. I personally think it's a little generous, but I understand where they're coming from. So this is the 3rd mark. The first mark is to get it in a quadratic form like this. And then the 2nd mark is to actually get a equals 6, a equals negative 1, and then sub that back into there. So yeah, x equals log 3 of 6 is our final answer.